All right, the official trailer is here. MANIKARNIKA, the Queen of Jhansi. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
This releases January 25th, so mark your calendars. It comes out in just over a month. This is starring Kangana, Ranaut, and it's directed by Radha Krishna Jagarlamudi. Yes. It's produced by Z Studios and Kamal Jain. It stars a lot of people, but I think the main person that we're all excited about is Kangana. She is the queen. She's playing the queen.
And I'm looking forward to seeing some English butt getting kicked.
Well, it's probably because we just watched Outlaw King. English were behaving badly in that movie.
Look, it's all right. I know my people were evil.
I'm always looking forward to seeing the English get their butt kicked, so. All right, let's check this out.
अंग्रेजी सरकार गिद्धों की तरह झांसी पर नजर गाड़े बैठी है। अगर झांसी को सही समय रहते उत्तराधिकारी नहीं मिला, तो ये झांसी को भी हड़प लेंगे।
एक लड़की देखी है, जिसकी हमें खोज थी। मणिकर्णिका।
कन्या कैसे कलाइयाँ घुमाती है? मैं दिखाती हूँ।
Cool.
देखा दीक्षित जी, हमारी मनु सबसे अलग है। आपकी मनु अब झांसी की हो चुकी है। परंपरा के अनुसार नया नाम दिया जाएगा। लक्ष्मी।
मैं लक्ष्मी बाई प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ, जब तक मेरे शरीर में रक्त है, मैं पूर्ण निष्ठा से झांसी की सेवा करूंगी।
लक्ष्मी बाई को कंपनी चेतावनी देती है कि जल्दी महल खाली कर दे।
मैं अपनी झांसी नहीं दूंगी।
झांसी को अंग्रेजों ने शमशान बना डाला।
देश से है प्यारे,
सब कुछ मिट गया। अब किसके लिए लड़ेंगे हम?
हर पल ये कहना चाहिए,
हमारा पहला प्यार मातृभूमि नहीं है क्या लक्ष्मी?
मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए।
हम लड़ेंगे ताकि आने वाली पीढ़ी अपनी आजादी का उत्सव मनाए। हम लड़ेंगे और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के स्वराज के सपने को पुनः जीवित करेंगे। जब बेटी उठ खड़ी होती है, तभी विजय बड़ी होती है।
आज के लिए नहीं, आप कल के लिए लड़ रहे हैं।
अंग्रेजी सत्ता तुम्हारी मिसाल बनाना चाहती है, लटकाना चाहती है तुम्हारे कटे हुए सर को झांसी में।
मैं वो मशाल बनूंगी जो हर भारतीय के अंदर आजादी की भूख बनकर दहकेगी। झांसी आप भी चाहते हैं और मैं भी। फर्क सिर्फ इतना है, आपको राज करना है और मुझे अपनों की सेवा।
Okay. I have a weird thing I'd like to comment on real quick. There was a part where she did what I have colloquially called, well, that's a big word there, the Super Mario jump.
Oh
she's
yeah,
like doing the
I
thing.
loved it.
Now, I've seen it twice before actually, but both of the times it felt like visual effects. Deepika did it in an action scene. I forget the name of the movie. It's a huge action film.
Not Padmavati, but the other one.
The
right?
one before
Yeah.
Padmavati. Someone told me that's actually a move that was used on the Indian battlefield. I don't know the actual historical context or relevance of that move.
Uh-huh.
But I just want to say that I like the way it was portrayed here better. It actually felt like there was gravity in her jump. The wire work was done in such a way so as to introduce some semblance of gravity in the movement.
Right, yeah.
I just really liked that execution because normally when you see stuff like that, they just look like they're flying through the air. The other time I saw that was in Hardcore Henry, but it was all from a POV shot. It was pretty cool in that. Here, it just felt real, the way it was done.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't even why I was excited by it. I think it's because I grew up watching a lot of Chinese movies movies, they're always flying off things. So it makes me really happy when I see people do moves like that, because I'm like, brings me back to the stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid.
Well, that's actually a great reference because in the Chinese action films like Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Yeah,
Dragon,
like that.
their movement is like they're just flying through the air.
Yeah.
And that's the contrast I'm trying to express here, which is it doesn't look like she's just flying. It looks like she's actually jumping. It looks like there's actually gravity there. She looks super fierce. Like there's so much, there's so much conviction. It almost reminds me of Joan of Arc, Mila Jovovich. Just like that edge, that craziness of like balls to the wall insane.
I think every woman has the potential to be that. Every woman has that within her to be that fierce.
For me, this is another example of what I am jealous about in Indian cinema. We have another film here where it's a powerful female lead and she's like super fierce. She's super strong. For me personally, I buy it because I've seen my fair share of crazy women. And like, I've seen ACHARA on her worst days. And I'm like, oh, this is... So, I really like how it's just all out. It's a very easy thing to buy into what she is fighting for.
Yeah.
There's this great shot that it made me smile. It's very symbolic, where she's slicing straight through the British flag. This is the biggest FU of all. I don't have like a tremendous amount of hate for the Brits, but just like knowing what they've done historically, this is awesome.
As a Brit, I can look at history and acknowledge that, yeah, we did some pretty goddamn awful things. Historically, there's always been stories about women who are warriors, like the Amazons in ancient Greece, and you know, you've got Mulan or Joan of Arc, like you said. Like there's always been women in history who have been formidable and who have been fierce. I love when we bring these stories back out of history and, you know, bring them back to life for a new generation.
I really would love to ask the director, Radha Krishna Jagarlamudi, if this shot right here was inspired by Brave. Because the hair, the outfit, the shooting, the only thing that was missing was like a target and a bunch of people trying to usher her into a marriage of some kind. That's all. That's the only difference. It's minor. She was shooting a tiger instead, and that tiger went straight down. That was a powerful shot. I don't know if that's how that works in real life, but it certainly works for the film. I may have said this before, but seeing her in this role is so interesting because it completely contrasts what she did in Queen. That role was way different. She was more of a woman who was kind of fishtailing and just trying to figure herself out. Here, it's the complete opposite, where she's completely sure of herself with strong conviction and power in the resonance in her voice. You wouldn't think that this was the same woman playing these roles.
What I'm seeing from the trailer is that this character goes through a journey, right? Because in the beginning, she's a carefree young girl who happens to get married into royalty, and she has to step up to the plate. So I think, you know, throughout the story, we're gonna see the conflicts that she's going through and the decisions and choices that she has to make. My one question is, what happened to all the men?
I was curious about that.
I mean, I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that the women are stepping up to the plate and are like, we're gonna defend our kingdom. What happened to the dudes? Did they all commit suicide or something? That's what I'm a little bit confused about. But I'm sure that's something that, if you know the history, that's not a question that you're gonna be asking. But for someone like us, and we don't know what actually happened, I have no idea.
I'm very curious about this director's other work because of this trailer now. He's got a lot of interesting shots, particularly his overhead shots are always very poignant in what they're showing you. It's very artfully done. There was one shot of like the flag being unfurled. His framing is really nice. The only film I'm familiar with looking at his IMDb is Gabbar Is Back with Akshay Kumar. I didn't see Gabbar Is Back. It looked like an interesting movie. I have no idea how, the quality of the film. That's a very different film from this, for sure. That was like a goofy trailer, goofy in terms of the tone, whereas this is more about war. Something a little bit more serious, just a tad. To independence, a theme that's just a little bit more important than whatever was going on in Gabbar's Back.
What really touched me as well was like how she's a mother. I'm not a mother myself.
Unless you're going off of YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, that's right. Apparently, according to YouTube, I have a child. I don't know where I put them, so I guess I'm a bad mother. No, seriously guys, I don't have a kid.
Except for Jaby.
Except for this guy. I feel like anytime you're a mother and you take that position very seriously, that fierceness will come out. I've felt that come out when I have felt protective over my younger sister, and that's my younger sister. And I just imagine that if I had a kid, like,
be tenfold.
You wanna mess with my kid, I will rip you apart. heart, not only is she fighting for her kingdom and her people, but she's also fighting for the livelihood of her child.
It's almost like she's protecting her people like she would protect her own kids.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Oh, even better, Jaby. Good job.
There's this shot here at 210. Again, these are minor things. These are minor details I like to highlight. She's got blood on her face.
Yeah.
But it's not just on her face, it's on her teeth as well. Normally, when you see these kinds of shots, like people engrossed in battle or something like that, and they look, and you look at their teeth and they're just pearly white. And here it's like, no, she's like dirty all over, including her teeth.
I love that. It's so raw.
It's that kind of minor detail that says just how raw the film is, how dirty this situation is. You know?
It's not even just that. What I love as well is the juxtaposition of this kind of more masculine energy that we're used to with the violence and the blood, but she's wearing a beautiful dress with jewelry and weapons.
There's a number of wide shots throughout this trailer with a lot of extras. The scale of this movie is amazing. I couldn't even tell sometimes if they were using CGI extras or actual extras. You see that shot right there?
Yeah, with the horses.
If this is real at all, it's only a handful of real people coming at each other and they duplicated them. And they did a good job of it. They used the shot real quick. Even if it's all CGI, you didn't have time to really critique it. It was used very effectively and very smart.
Speaking about the battle scenes as well, being that it is from the writers of Bahubali and there's that kind of like Bahubali element involved, I'm hoping that there's gonna be some really amazing epic fight scenes. I mean, you can already kind of see that from the trailer.
I would imagine that based on what we were seeing so far and the Super Mario jump, it's going to be different in tone from Bahubali with regards to the kind of action you're seeing. Because in Bahubali, it was more fantasy, and so you were seeing stuff that was, for lack of a better word, unrealistic. Because these are people who are like superheroes, whereas this is a real person, at least according to what we're watching so far. The action that I'm seeing is more like Braveheart.
But there still is a slight element of fantasy, maybe just not as far out.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that, but sure. I'm just not getting that. It seems to me that they're aiming for more of a realistic tone. I don't know how many of you know this, but Bog Milka Bog ranks right now as my favorite Indian film. Above PK, above Three Idiots. Because of that, it makes me even more intrigued to watch this. There was writers involved in this that wrote Bog Milka Bog, that's what I know. Again, I'd like to say there are some really beautiful shots in here. I think that, again, this is a character that's easy to get behind. I am wondering still about like where most of the men have gone with regards to the battles. The only slightly negative remark I might have about this is, and I think I've said this before with the teaser, it looks like she's in front of a green screen in some of those shots in the battlefield, or it might just be the way that it's lit. I have no idea. That's the only thing that stood out to me as like, oh, that's not perfect. I'm still engrossed in this story. I still really, really want to watch it. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be honest, be verbose. Let us know what you're most excited about. Check out ACHARA KIRK. She's on the social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. And tell us what you think the name of ACHARA's kid is. I don't know. I thought I'd throw that in there. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.